AAC champ prediction. And I'm going back to the well. By the way, taking the over 7.5 win total for UTSA. Tulane. I'm going back to the well. John Summerall has made 3 straight conference games, 2 at Troy, 1 at Tulane. But not only has John Summerall done it, Tulane in general has been to 3 straight conference championship games. They lost last year to Army. Army dominated the game. It wasn't close. They lost 2 years ago. Backup quarterback versus backup quarterback against SMU, which that ended up not really being a backup. And I think that was Kevin Jennings who played. And then I think the one 3 years ago is the one they won. With, I can't remember who they played, but that was the year they won the Cotton Bowl against Caleb Williams and them. So they've been there. They've done that. And I think they do it again. I think Tulane, with some of the talent coming in, I know they lost a lot. They lost Darian Mensah, the quarterback, went straight to Duke, and they lost Mekhi Hughes, went straight to Oregon. And Mekhi Hughes has been huge for Tulane the last 2 years. But I will say this: Tulane wasn't really projected to go to the conference, to the American Conference Championship game last year. I think I had them winning, but we didn't even know who was going to be the starting quarterback. A lot of people had Todd Thompson, the starting quarterback, and then out of nowhere, Darian Mensah wins the job, and he does amazing things. And I feel like this year could be similar, where Jake Retzlaff walks on at Tulane because of the whole BYU situation, wins the starting job at Tulane, and does excellent things at Tulane. So it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be the American in general, to me, it's just going to be fun to watch. But Tulane, it's going to be interesting. I really do think it's going to be interesting. And John Summerall is a great coach. So they're coming off a 9-5, 7-1 season where they lost the American 35-14 to Army, and they lost the Gasparilla Bowl 33-8 to Florida. But again, they didn't have the American Conference game. There, everybody played. The Gasparilla Bowl, everybody was gone. It was just like nobody was there for them. So Florida just whooped them. But they returned 5 starters from what I saw. 3 on offense, all being linemen, and 2 on defense. Again, this was one of the teams where it was hard to find the returners. On defense, they returned Sam Howard, a linebacker who had 63 total tackles, 34 solos, 2.5 sacks, a pass breakup, an interception, and 5 fumble recoveries, and a scoop and score for a touchdown. And they returned Bailey Despaney, a safety who had 53 total tackles, 41 solos, and 2 pass breakups. Now, they lost Darian Mensah, like I said, the quarterback, 189 to 287, 65.9% completion percentage, 2,723 yards, 22 total touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He went to Duke. Mekhi Hughes, a running back who went to Oregon, who had 265 carries, 1,401 yards, 5.3 carry, and 15 touchdowns. They lost Mario Williams, a receiver who had 60 catches, 1,031 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Dante Fleming, a receiver who had 31 catches, 598 yards, and a touchdown, currently trying to make the Vikings. Yokeith Brown, a receiver who had 35 catches, 470 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And they lost Alex Bowman, a tight end who's currently on Miami, who had 20 catches, 212 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Lost Tyler Grubbs, a linebacker who had 67 total tackles, 40 solos, 3 sacks, pass breakup, 2 interceptions, a touchdown, and a forced fumble. Rayshawn Pleasant, cornerback who currently transferred to Auburn, who had 35 total tackles, 27 solos, 3 pass breakups, interception, a pick 6, and a fumble recovery. They lost Patrick Jenkins, a defensive lineman trying to make the Cardinals, 33 total tackles, 15 solos, 4.5 sacks, and 2 pass breakups. And Michael Robinson, a defensive back who had 33 total tackles, 23 solos, 6 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, a pick 6, and a forced fumble, currently trying to make the Packers. They were 70th in overall recruiting classes, 76 in transfers, bringing in guys like Trey Shackelford, the receiver from Washington State, but 10 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown. Maurice Turner, who lost his job at Louisville, running back who had 27 total carries, 136 yards, 5 carry, and a touchdown. Santana Hopper, a transfer D lineman who had 36 total tackles, 18 solos, 5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles from App State. Omari Hayes, a receiver from FAU, who had 39 catches, 590 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Jake Retzlaff, the walk-on quarterback, who went 213 to 368, 57.9% completion percentage, 2,947 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions from BYU, who they had a great season, having 10 wins at BYU. They were 52nd in total offense, 24th in total defense, 89th in passing, 25th in rushing, 16th in scoring offense, 15th in passing defense, 60th in rushing defense, and 24th in scoring defense. Now let's get into the schedule. Where the first game of the season, I have them beating Northwestern at home. I have them beating South Alabama on the road. I have them losing to Duke at home, losing to Ole Miss on the road, beating Tulsa at home, beating ECU at home, Tulsa's on the road, excuse me, beating ECU at home, beating Army at home, revenge game. Kind of, but not really. I always say they're not really revenge games because they're not in that circumstance. But teams do look at it like that, I guess. So having beating UTSA on the road, beating Memphis on the road, which Memphis Tulane is funny because I think Memphis lost to Tulane. I want to say they lost them at home 2 years ago, and then they beat Tulane in their house last year. I want to say that's how that went. I know Memphis won last year, Tulane won 2 years ago. I want to say they were in each other's cribs when they did that. FAU at home is a win. Temple on the road is a win, and Charlotte at home is a win. Having Tulane going 10-2, 8-0, where I do believe they play UTSA in the championship game, and they win again in the championship game, winning the American Athletic Conference championship game, and possibly earning a college football playoff berth because one Group of 5 school gets the 12th seed. So possibly getting that. That's a at play.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.